There we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Tapping Tuesday. I'm so happy to be here with you. If this is your first week, welcome. If it's not your first week, welcome back. I'm excited to get to spend this time with you. Let me know how you feel about the amount of light. It's kind of not working. I have this really cool light in my treatment room. I just wanted to kind of share it with you, but it requires darkness and it's not really super visible anyway. So if you would prefer it to be a little bit brighter, I can turn the light that's on me up a little bit. That aside, if this is your first time here, I'll give you a very quick rundown of what we do. We jump into doing EFT together. EFT meaning emotional freedom techniques. It is a stress reliever tool. It is a trauma release tool. It's something that is fairly simple to catch onto. So if you're feeling insecure about it or you've never heard of it, no worries. Just follow along with me. You'll get it down very, very quickly. If you have any questions or you want to participate in the session, you just write it in the chat. I interact with that as we go along. Um, I don't go into an explanation of what EFT is. So if you're hoping to get more information on what the techniques are, the science behind it, all of the proof behind it, that all is on our channel, which is EFT Universe. So you would just type that into the search bar here on YouTube, and you'll find hundreds of videos, literally hundreds of videos, explaining all of that for you. Here we just jump into it and do it. So with that, I'm going to say hi. Hi, Richard. Hi, Iona. I hope I'm saying that right. Oh, I'm glad you like the light. Thank you. Hello, Divine Love. Hi, Violet. Okay, overwhelmed and brokenhearted by what's happening in the Middle East. I would ask as well, Violet, if part of that overwhelm and maybe even the brokenhearted stems from feeling helpless, maybe hopeless, like it hurts so much. What can I even do about it? And like if there's any amount of, well, yeah, I could tap to make myself feel better, but what does that help even? That sort of a thing. Feeling pain and that deep empathy for others can be really tricky to find an empowering place on. So I having more details on where that's coming from for you is helpful, and we absolutely can tap on it. Okay, you said yes. Hi, Anya from Germany. So glad to have you. Okay, a lack of motivation. Okay. Overwhelmed, trying to balance the masculine and feminine. Okay, it's becoming too much. And at times when I am off balance, I feel like I did something wrong. What a beautiful explanation for that, Divine Love. Thank you for all of that. Off balance. So, in what way are you working to balance the masculine and feminine? Like where they fit in your life in particular, like where the categories are for you, like, oh, this I do in this train of thought, and this I do from this energy, or like where's my or you're trying to bring them together in everything and find that perfect blend to then apply everywhere. If you could give me just a little more clarity, maybe I can tap more specifically on that. um yeah, so sad to see what happens around the world. Yeah, it's hard. Okay, stuck in anxiety, Roselle. Well, hello, first of all right. Love the suggestions that you guys are giving today. We're going to get into it. We're going to feel a lot better by the end of this session. So okay, want them balanced, finding the perfect blend. Perfect. Thank you for that. Alrighty. Well, first, let's just take a moment and get grounded. Let's get present in our bodies in this moment in time, and then we'll go from there. So, the way I like to do that is just a real simple exercise. If you've been here before, you've done it. We're just going to focus in on different body parts and breathe. And when I mention a body part, you don't have to check for it. You don't have to see exactly where it is with your eyes or with your hands. I just want you to focus on it. It's a real gentle way of becoming present. Okay. Let's go ahead and check it in your body. See if you need to shift around at all, stretch a little bit, pull your shoulders. Even if maybe you need a little bit of bad posture and you just need to lean forward for a second, whatever your body's asking for, give it permission to receive for just a few minutes. Okay, and go ahead and just take a breath to whatever depth feels good to you. Okay, and now as you're sitting here, focus on where the backs of your ears are. Where are the backs of your ears right now? Your left and your right. Where are the backs of those ears? And breathe. And how about your lips? We never focus on our lips. Where are those lips right now? Are they moving? Are they dry? Do they feel pretty good? Are they cold? Are they warm? How are those lips right now? Remember to breathe. And how about your eyelids? Where are your eyelids right now? And how about your collarbones? Those collarbones, on the front side of your body, where are those right now? What about your belly button? Where is your belly button? And how is your belly button? This may sound weird to think about, but go with me on it. Is your belly button happy? Is your belly button stressed? Is it sad? How does your belly button feel right now? And just acknowledge it. Don't feel like you have to do anything about it. Just acknowledge whatever you feel is there. And how about your hip sockets? Where are your hip sockets right now? And your knees, that whole knee joint, the front of the knee, the sides, and the back. Just that whole area. Where are your knees right now? And how about your feet? The top of your feet, the back of your feet, the bottoms of your feet, that whole spot. If it were to be glowing right now, where would it glow? How brightly would it glow? Would your feet be glowing a bright amount? Would there be a lot of energy there? Or would it be kind of dull? Would there be just a little bit? If you see just a little bit of energy, maybe try sending some energy down your body to those feet. Get those feet glowing as bright as you can, just for fun. And remember to breathe. Okay, let's go ahead and take a breath here, as deep as what feels comfortable. Okay, and you can go ahead and open your eyes. I'm going to set an intention real quick for us. It is my intention that as we have this hour together to tap, that even though we're across the world and we are all experiencing different experiences of life, that as we gather here right now, we're a community, and that matters, and that there's actual power and strength in that we get to share with each other. And that as we show up authentically, whether it's at a high point or a stress point or a low point or a confused point, that showing up is what matters. And showing up is what makes that meaningful contribution. And just being here offers strength to our community. And that's recognized and that's valued and appreciated. And it does matter that you're here. And that as we tap today, whether or not it is as specific as you've stated, or maybe if you didn't put anything in the chat at all, that at the end of this session, you get to feel better, that you get to feel relief, and that you get to feel comfort, and you get to feel clarity and empowerment. Okay, let's take one more breath. Alrighty, so I'm going to go back to the chat. Balance to you. Yeah. Okay, and Richard, the balance of energies. Oh, with my different fingernail color. My daughter painted my fingernails. Didn't she do a cute job? I just absolutely, it makes me so happy every time I look at my fingernails. You're so welcome for this community, Violet. Okay. I'm going to start with overwhelm because there's been a mention of overwhelm and stuck in anxiety. And it's hard to go anywhere else when that's the place where you are. So it's been a while since we've done the 9 gamut. So let's go ahead and jump into that. If you don't know what that is, you can just follow along with me. It's one of the 48 clinical techniques of EFT. This means it's been clinically tested and shown to be really effective. Normally, we tap here on the side of the hand. For the 9 gamut, we tap in between these 2 knuckles. So right along here, the point's actually closer to here, but if you just put all your fingers there, you're going to get it. No problem. So you don't have to think about it and wonder. So we're going to tap here. And if what you're dealing with is especially emotional, sometimes it can also feel good to put your hand on your heart and tap here. This is a grounding move. This is a connection move to other energetic parts of your body. Also just something that we tend to do when our hearts are hurting. We do it impulsively. So this can be just a good connection to have. Okay, now for the eye part, we're going to look up at, as if we've got a large clock in front of us. We're going to look up at 12 o'clock and we're just going to circle our eyes along our periphery, and we're going to do it slow. We don't want to get dizzy. And then we're going to say our phrasing out loud as we are circling, and just keep going in one direction, and I'll tell you when to switch to the other direction. Okay, so go ahead and look straight up, keeping your nose straight forward, and slowly circle in one direction. Whichever direction you choose is fine, because we will do both. This overwhelm. This overwhelm in my body. This overwhelm all around my body. This overwhelm in my mind. This overwhelm in my heart. This overwhelm in my soul. The heavy emotions I feel because of this overwhelm. The devastation. The shock. The helplessness. All of these emotions flooding my body. This overwhelm. Even though I am experiencing all of these hard things right now, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though this is excruciating to feel, I choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though this is so hard right now, I still show up for me. I show up for me in this hard spot, in this hard place. Even though this place can feel very lonely, I am not alone. I am not alone because I am here. And I listen to my emotions, even when my emotions are big, even when my emotions are loud, even when my emotions are painful. I show up because I care. Go ahead and change directions. This overwhelm, this overwhelm in my body, this anxiety, in my body, these big emotions, that I feel right now. As I determine what to do with them, I give them permission to release. I recognize them. I see them. I understand why they're so big. I also give them permission to go. This overwhelm, release. This anxiety, release. These big feelings in my body, release. I hold space for me to feel peace right now so that I can figure things out. And if I feel I need to pick these back up, I can. If I need to express them in a bigger way later, I can. For right now, I hold space for my big emotions and to feel relief, to feel release, to feel connection with my community. Okay, go ahead and stop moving your eyes and soften your focus and just kind of blink a few times. Let your eyes rest. Okay, and then let's just tap gently on the side of the hand. We're going to continue on with this theme of overwhelm and anxiety for just a little bit longer. As I allow myself this space for release, for relief, I may have feelings about that. I may feel like it's not okay. It's not right for me to do that. It's selfish for me to do that. It means I'm forgetting what other people are going through if I do that. It's dismissive if I do that. Even though I may feel confusion about giving myself permission to release these emotions, I'm open to finding an understanding of how this could be helpful. I'm open to understanding how this could be a place of empowerment for me and for those that what I'm so concerned about right now. Holding space. Holding space in my body. Holding space in my mind. Holding space in my heart. Permission. Permission for different. Permission for empowerment. Permission for a perspective that feels better. That feels better for me as a person, but also for me as someone who cares. Someone who wants things to be better and do better. Permission to allow that to come through. Holding space. Holding space. I wonder, what could I possibly do? This is big, and it's hurtful, and it's scary. And if those words don't fit for you, then switch it to words that do, and whatever it is that you're thinking about and going through. What do my thoughts possibly have a chance of affecting? Well, I wonder, what ways could they have an effect? I wonder what effect they're having right now and the way that they are. Is it helpful for me to grow the pain that's being felt? Is it helpful for me to hold on to that too? Who gains more power when I am also hurt? And it's okay for me to have my emotional response. Of course, it's going to be painful. Of course, it's going to be shocking. Of course, I'm going to have these reactions and these responses. And that is absolutely okay for me to have. But what do I hold on to? What can I offer with these emotions? My emotions are big. My emotions are strong. I am powerful. I feel the power of how big these emotions are right now, even if it's in a negative way. I feel it. I wonder, is it possible for me to change that? Is it possible if I disciplined my thoughts to make a difference in a different way? Maybe it's possible. It's probably not possible. It's not enough to be possible. It's not really going to make a difference. What if every little bit does make a difference? Whether or not I have any or all of these thoughts right now in my mind, I hold space to give it a try. I hold space to be curious in action rather than just curious in thought. Well, I wonder, how do I be curious in action? Especially if where my concern is, I can't hold it. It's not tangible for any other sense of mine other than my emotions. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe my emotions are the key. And maybe that is how I can test this out. I wonder what would be a way that if I could have an effect, if I believed, if I trusted, if I tried, what would that be? What would my action through my emotions be? My try, my give, my action step, my curiosity, my offer, my beginning point, my power, my emotions. Okay, well, if I'm going to give this a try, I would choose to send love or hope or strength or peace and with this, I would choose to feel the strength of that. I would choose to believe in the strength of that. There are a lot of stories about how things like this really make a difference. And it's great when people know it. And it would be nice if I could know it. But even if I can't, even if I never know for sure, maybe this is still a better place for me to feel, for me to act from, for me to offer. It's okay for me to have my emotions. It's okay for me to have my feelings. But after I allow those to speak, what if I choose to send back a powerful ray of love, a powerful orb of protection, of hope? It's worth a try. But how will I know if it's making a difference? What can I use as my check-in point? Maybe I can use my own emotions as a check-in point and see if I feel better. And if I notice that I feel like it is making a difference, if I feel like I am connecting with someone, I can trust that. And it may be mystical, it may feel weird, it may sound different than anything I've ever tried. But maybe it's okay for me to give it a shot, for me to try it out, and to trust and believe. Because even if it's only true that it's making a difference in my heart and in my mind and in my energy, that at the very least allows me to be aware of other potential opportunities where I could make a difference in a more physical sense. The difference I can make. The difference I can make in my emotions. The difference I can make in my perspective. My power. My power for good. My power that I offer, that I offer to myself, my power that I offer to others. Holding space. Holding space for hope. Holding space for love. Holding space for my power. And as I give myself permission to redirect my energy as many times as I need to be in a place of empowerment, to be in a vibration that I choose to be in, that I choose to offer, I trust that it does matter. And I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, take a breath. I'm going to put just a quick little nerdy caveat in here. It really does make a difference to discipline your mind to focus on things of empowerment, of positivity. It can feel like delusionment, but here's what happens if your intention is to make things move forward in a positive way. If you talk to your subconscious mind, which we do when we tap, and we say, okay, this is bad, and this is sad, and this is scary, and it's hard, but I'm finding hope. I'm finding forward movement. I'm finding peace. I'm finding good. Then the subconscious brain processes that. And all of the bits of information that it thinks about, that it recognizes that consciously we never see because of all the filters it goes through, and it filters it down to just the smallest little bit of information that it's actually receiving. And it changes the filters that it's using that we consciously become aware of. So at first we may see all of the heavy, because that's what our brain has been told to focus on because of our emotions and because of our awareness. But if we are able to say, but I want the good, but I want the difference, but I want then those will start to widen and broaden. And those things that you're wanting to take action on, if you were able to see them, if they existed, those possibilities become literal. It's not magic. It is how um, how what the secret what's the secret based off of the law of attraction. It is how the law of attraction works. It all has to do with what your subconscious brain is focusing on and how it filters through to your conscious brain to what you actually notice and see in your environment. So if that feels any certain way, I hope that that makes it feel um, more plausible of an actual answer as a good place to start. So, okay. And now I will step off of that and we'll go back to tapping. Um, oh, you're so welcome, Violet. Good. I'm glad that that helped. Okay. Self belief system. Okay, good, good, good. Okay. Going back to what everyone has written. Lack of motivation. Okay, so let's go there next. And then there's also the balance of masculine and feminine. Um, autocorrect gets me all the time too. So just a second. I'm going to turn my little heater off because I am heating up the back of my computer more than I'm comfortable with. So, okay. I want to work these two together, actually. I want to blend them. So I'm going to go with empowerment based clarity, empowerment and clarity. So in forward movement, um, oftentimes when we feel empowered and we feel clear, forward movement is easy because we feel confident in what we're doing. It's when we're unsure of what we're doing, like, well, I don't know if this is going to matter. I don't know if this is going to, I've been trying and so far none of this has mattered. It gets harder and harder to continue taking action. Um, and if you don't feel empowered in like, well, I'm trying and I think this is what I need to do, but I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if I have enough information. I don't know if I've got the right skill set at it. That too can be a reason to hold back. So, um, in the sense of clarity and empowerment, both for motivation moving forward and the balance of the masculine and feminine. I will mention those as we tap, have a few phrasing for that. If those aren't your struggles, then absolutely change whatever words that I'm saying to fit what you're going through. Um, Typically, it'll just happen automatically. Your brain will go, that's not my experience. It's more like this. Great. Follow through with that. And as I'm tapping, if you want to tap in different spots, please give yourself permission to do that. I know I stay on the hand a lot. I do that because then you're not having to think about watching me. You're able to kind of sink into what you're thinking about and what you're experiencing rather than, oh, am I on the right place? So just so you know, that's why I do that. Okay. As I consider the goals that I have and the blocks that are currently in my way, I deeply and completely accept myself. As I think about where I want to be and the distance between where that is and where I am now, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I can clearly see problems, but I can't so clearly see solutions, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. My motivation, my balance, my lack of motivation, my lack of balance. Even though right now I am where I am, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I accept that I'm struggling. I acknowledge that I'm frustrated. I acknowledge that this isn't where I wanted to be at this moment in time. And I had hoped that my efforts would have made more of a difference for myself than it has. And even though I'm not where I want to be with things, I give myself permission to release that judgment for right now. I give myself permission to just have a blank space, to release the emotions and the thoughts, all of the considerations about this. Just start in a brand new place, just for right now. I want to be curious. I give myself permission to step back and be curious. I wonder, I wonder why this is so hard. Why is this so hard right now? Is it hard because I've got invisible blocks? Maybe old beliefs from my life that I haven't thought to consider yet. Maybe it's something that I actually feel afraid to receive what I want. That I feel like I'm not ready for it yet, or I'm not worthy of it, or it's just new. It's new and I don't know it yet. So it's hard for me to trust, even though it's what I really want. Maybe, maybe it's because I've been offering a lot of expectations, but not a lot of support. I wonder, have I offered myself the amount of support that would be needed to actually meet these expectations? As I consider my amount of support, I deeply and completely accept myself. Well, I wonder, what does that even mean? Do I even know what support is? Do I even know how to support myself in this? Hmm. Has there been a time in my life where I have felt like I had everything that I needed? Or do I usually operate from, well, I better go get this thing that I need that I don't have? Even if the space that I know and the space that I operate from has historically been, I'm aware of what I don't have and I need to go get it. I hold space to find a different way to look at it. I hold space to find a new function. Okay, well, if that's not support, then what is? What if support looked like it felt easy? What if support looked like actual boundaries? What if support looked like allowing myself the amount of time? What if support looked like allowing myself resources for help, resources of time, resources of connection, resources of money? I wonder, do I do that? Have I done that? Or have I mostly felt like, no, I need to figure this out, and I need to figure it out from the place where I currently am if I want to have it? Well, maybe that'll work. It's possible. I've done it with other things. I've succeeded in other ways. But I wonder, is that going to work for this? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. If I do need different support, what could that be? I don't have the slightest clue. Maybe I have some clue, but I'm not sure if it's right. Maybe I have absolutely no idea at all. Whether I have absolutely no idea, or I've got a few ideas of where I could start. I hold space that I could figure it out. And that if I give myself permission to find it and to take action on it, maybe it could help. Okay, but help what? In what way could I receive this new support in a way that's going to help me reach my goal? How am I going to become more balanced, more motivated, or gain more clarity? In what ways can different support help with that? Maybe it's a matter of learning. Maybe the things that feel vague right now are something that another person has entirely figured out. Maybe there's more clarity available to me than I realized. My resources. My resources for support. My resources for clarity. My resources for balance. My resources for forward movement. My resources for what I want. I wonder, do I trust myself as a resource? Do I trust my own feelings, my own whisperings, my own intuition? Or did I, at some point, learn that that wasn't okay and that that was a risk and that I should abandon that? Even if I'm now becoming aware that I have not trusted myself as a resource, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I forgive myself for making that choice. It likely made sense at some point in my life. And it worked because I survived. I got past whatever that was. But maybe I don't need that process anymore. Maybe I succeeded in such a way that it's okay to bring it back. It's safe to bring it back. That it's safe for me to trust myself again. Okay, but what does trusting myself as a resource look like? Well, maybe it looks like trusting that I have a preference, trusting that I have an opinion, trusting that the way that I feel is valid, trusting that it's okay for me to pay attention to my own impulse, to my own thought, to my own feeling, even if it doesn't make sense in the moment, even if it's not something that I share in the moment or ever. But that I give myself permission to listen, for me to listen, for me to include it. Maybe that's a good beginning point. And that if what I hear is, I need to rest, I need to take a break, that I'm actually doing pretty good, that I need to emote, whatever it is, that I can trust that it's valid and it has a purpose. And I can start to learn how to hold space for it. And I may be really bad at that at first. And even if this is a new muscle for me, to hold space for myself and to take action on how I feel, I give myself permission to do it at my own beginning point, and whatever that looks like, whether I'm really good at it or I'm really confused at first or I keep forgetting about it, whatever it looks like, it's my beginning point, and that's okay. I allow myself to find new beginnings. I give myself permission to try new things. As I allow myself to be heard, as I look for how to support myself for motivation, for balance, for clarity, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I allow myself to feel proud that I'm even working on it, that this is something that's important to me, because that already is a pretty good beginning. Okay, go ahead and stop tapping and take a breath. Good job. Okay, and let me take a look back here. I think we've covered all of the topics that were written. Oh, you're so welcome. Oh, hey, Dr. Scott. You're totally exhausted. Is that from a release or are you wanting to tap on being totally exhausted? I just in case you mean you feel totally exhausted and you could really use some energy. Oh, you're so welcome, Divine Love. Thank you for letting me know. Let's tap on getting some energy. Oh, thank you, Roselle. You're so welcome. Um, let's finish out with allowing our bodies to feel energized, but in a grounding way, in a way that feels lasting, not like a dose of caffeine. Okay. Um, Probably release. Okay, well, that's good. Okay, let's do energy anyway. Okay, so actually, I'm going to tap on my chest. Again, choose any tapping spot that feels good for you. As I feel my body and the space that it's in right now, and I become aware of my levels of comfort, my level of peace, my level of energy. I invite into my body the energies of balance, the energy of grounding. I allow myself to recognize the vast amount of energy that's available to me, all of the energy that's already flowing through my space, all of the energy that exists within this universe, all of its moving parts, all of its potential. And me, this little being of electricity and magnetism, I allow myself to receive what will feel best to me at this time, to receive an expansion of support that's already around me, that's already flowing to me. I open up that area of reception even wider and I allow it to flow into me. And I can feel this in real time. I feel the grounding coursing through my body and adding strength to my bones, to my muscles, the steadiness in my walk, my connection to the earth itself. I feel the vibration of this deep energy, the energy of growth, the energy of progression that is abundant all around me. I see it in everything that I look at, in the plants, the animals, the environment that exists around me. I allow this gift of this energy to be received into my vessel, that I become a part of this cycle of energy that is offered to me, that exists through me in this vast universe that I am a part of. And as I receive this, I recognize that however big my body is, I am so, so tiny in the means of the universe, and that me receiving an abundance of this energy every single second for the whole rest of my life really is so small. And it's not a big ask, and it's not a big give. The universe is already flowing all of this energy anyway. It is okay for me to accept it, for me to allow it, and for me to ask for it. Because even though the energy of the universe is so vast and so big, it makes a large difference, even though I am such a small piece of it. And it allows me to act in a positive way on the give of this energy, which may otherwise just continue to flow as potential energy and flow by and maybe not be utilized. But I choose to accept this gift. I choose to receive this gift and to continue to give it forward in the ways that I can from my own unique vessel and my own unique energies. And as I receive this as much as I want, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm so glad that you've been here. If you have any questions, if you have a topic that you'd like to tap on that you just don't want to make public, maybe it feels too vulnerable, feel free to email me. I did put my email at the top of the chat. I'll also say it. It is amanda@eftuniverse.com. I hope to see you again next week. We tap for an hour every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time on this channel, which is EFT Universe. I'll be thinking about you. I've got you in my heart, and I hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful week. Mwah! I'll see you soon.